Tonight, we are waiting to hear from former President Trump following his appearance in a Miami courtroom this afternoon. Many gathered there to witness a monumental moment in American history as the former president entered his plea on federal criminal charges. Those in the courtroom say Mr. Trump sat stone-faced as his lawyer entered a not guilty plea on those 37 felony counts, accusing him of hoarding classified documents containing U.S. military secrets at his palatial estate and obstructing government efforts to get them back. Former President Trump was released without any restrictions on where he can travel, but he is under a limited contact order. Government prosecutors will decide who he can talk to about this case. And right now, Mr. Trump is on his way to New Jersey, where he will deliver remarks to his supporters later tonight. Tonight, we are told the Fulton County District Attorney's Office is not commenting on today's proceedings.
In just weeks, we are expected to learn whether that office could file charges against the former president or his allies for interference with Fulton County's 2020 election results. But that doesn't seem to be slowing down Mr. Trump's campaign efforts. We're going to bring in now 11 Live's Joe Ripley with much more on this. Joe?
And today, former President Trump became the first former president to appear before a federal judge on criminal charges. He's made it clear he hopes the investigations against him fuel support among his followers, despite his ongoing legal battles, including those here in Georgia. Former President Donald Trump could spend years in federal prison if convicted on 37 charges he faces tied to the mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago resort and his alleged refusal to hand them over to the proper authorities.
I would think that he might simply be under house arrest for the rest of his life, which might be enough punishment for him. No social media, no television appearances, a quiet, silent life. Would be torture for Donald Trump.
Clark Cunningham, a law professor at Georgia State University, calls the charges very serious, though he believes Trump could avoid prison time altogether. Despite his legal trouble, recent polls show Trump remains the frontrunner for the Republican 2024 presidential nomination.
The former president's strategy right now is to say, bring it on. Every time I'm indicted, he thinks he becomes more popular.
They say, how do you take it? We take it and we fight back like nobody's ever fought before.
Cunningham says at least 2 more indictments, both tied to possible 2020 election interference, could come in Washington, D.C. and Fulton County later this year. He says time spent in court is time not spent on the campaign trail.
The question of which case comes to trial first is really hard to figure out. It has to do with cooperation among the prosecutors and among the judges.
Bringing things back home now, Trump's legal team tried to have a special grand jury report tossed here in the Fulton County election probe. That report recommended indictments against at least one person, but did not go into detail. The judge overseeing this case has yet to rule on Trump's legal team's request.